Hi guys and gals, Robert here, back in another video. Just off, I want to say a very happy new year to everybody. Let's hope 2016 is amazing, because 2015, it was great. And as the title says, I'm going to be telling you my top 5 animes of 2015. As everyone knows, I got into anime about mid-time last year, and I've been clocking through all the animes of 2015. What grabbed my eye, what was going on, what was popular at the time, and I'm just going to tell you my top 5. So coming in at number 5. Number 5 is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon? That is the genuine title of this anime. I believe this ran for 13 episodes, and it was a great anime. The main protagonist is a guy called Bel Cranel. He has white hair, and he is an adventurer. The world is your typical fantasy world, medieval thing, knights, magicians, elves, whatnot. And it is set out like a fantasy role-playing game. But it is indeed the real world. But it's weird because an adventurer has skills and level stats and gains levels, but as their individual person, it's weird like that. It's very weird. So it has RPG mechanics, but in real life. I know that threw me, but again, it's an interesting concept. So Bel Cranel, he's just starting out he's an adventurer, and he goes into the dungeon where he comes across this other adventurer who's a level so much higher than him, and he gets the hots for her, basically. And now the whole entire story is about him trying to level up, get into her level to impress her, so she would notice him. However, she doesn't notice him at all. But every other girl in the anime does, and every other girl in the anime wants to know him. But Bel, being Bel, an idiot, doesn't realise this, but he wants to be friends with them anyway. So not only is he friends with every hot female character in this anime, he goes after the one girl he can't really get. Yeah, it's one of them animes, one of them shows. One of those girls being his goddess. The leader of his guild, if you will. He's the only member of this guild, believe it or not. So we got our main protagonist, Bel, and we have his the other main character, who would be Hestia, the goddess. Interesting thing about Hestia, her boobs are that large. She has a blue ribbon underneath them to support them, because apparently bras have not been invented yet in this anime. This is a genuine thing. But it's a very interesting concept. Again, it's a show of growth. You get to see Bel grow from this level 1 character to I think he ends up at level 5 in this series, where he's in the last episode he just attacks. Or there's major fight scene in the last episode. It's yay! We escaped the dungeon! Because you'll get trapped in a dungeon. Because there's this dungeon. And yeah, but it's just episode after episode, they go to the dungeon, they fight some bad guys, they get some money. There's great. I'm basing all of my reviews on 5 categories: opening theme, fan service, animation, soundtrack, and story. I love the opening theme. Fan service, it's not so bad. There's fan service, but it's not in your face, like other animes tend to have. Character development, great. Soundtrack, great. Literally great. But it would have been higher up, but there have been other animes that have been better than it. I can understand why it has been favoured as one of the top animes of 2015. I know that it is getting a UK Blu-ray release this year. I don't know whether it's being dubbed or not, but I will be buying it for sure. So that's why Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon is at my number 5. at number 4. At number... Where is number 4? Yeah, Christmas paper. Yeah. At number 4... At number 4, I've spoken about this before, it's Asterisk War. If you're a big Sword Art Online fan, as you know I am, this was basically the next thing coming out, A1 Pictures, that would be similar to Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online are even promoting this as like a thing. There are similarities to Sword Art Online, and like Sword Art Online, it's another one of them harem animes, where your main protagonist is a dude, and all the supporting cast are females who are after the dude. Again, there's a lot of supporting cast here that have great backstories, and the main protagonist also has a great backstory. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of adventure in this. With Asterisk War, there isn't an antagonist at all. It's one of these animes where they're like, there's this goal that they want to achieve. This is how they're going to achieve it. Here we have some problems along the way. This is how we're going to solve it. There's no antagonist at all in this. It's just obstacles that they happen to come across along the way to reaching their goal. So it's at the mid-season break right now. It comes back in April. So we've had 12 episodes so far, and again, every episode is actually been phenomenal. It was a bit slow to start. Obviously, every season is at the beginning of a new series. It's slow to start, so you know. But you got Ayato, who is our protagonist, and what there is, it's this island. It's this city on the island that has like 6 academies around it, schools, and they all get trained in a form of sword fighting or like weapon wielding of some kind, laser weapons. And then there's like this massive tournament that happens. It's a tag tournament, so partners and all that crap. And whoever wins this tournament amongst the 6 academy members gets to ask for anything they want in the world. Honest to God, anything they want in the world. So, you know, as you can tell, it's quite a big thing. So there's some corruption from other academies, and there's some like cheating from other academies, and like, you know, but we're focused on like these main characters right now in this one school. So like you got Ayato, whose sister went missing years ago. So if he wins the tournament, he wants to know what happened to his sister. And then you got his partner, Julius, who wants like all this money to help this orphanage that she was friends with when she was younger. And then you got like this other team of 2 girls whose names escape me. And they've got like other problems as well. Like, but both of their fathers are actually in trouble. And like, if they win the tournament, they want their fathers to like be saved and stuff. So it's like, wow. So you've got these characters, who both have amazing reasons to win this tournament. And you're like, well, who do we want to win? You know, because it's like, if you want these people to win, then these people aren't going to win. And these people's like reasons for winning, it's going to be an emotional thing. But it's just like, there's just so many obstacles along the way that they've managed to have to overcome. And it's like so amazing. Like the action scenes are absolutely phenomenal. The animation is amazing. It truly is. And I love the opening theme. I have it on my phone. And so that's why it's at number 4 for me, because I think it's just great. Because it does have that Sword Art Online feel to it. Like especially with the animation and the sound and everything. And the action things, so that's why I would recommend it, and that is why it's at my number 4. At number 3, and number 3, I think it's the one I think of. Is it? Yes, it is. At number 3, it is something that is close to my heart. It is Digimon Adventure Tri. Like I said, I'm a massive Digimon fan. Series 1, 2, only. Other than shit. But to have a reunion series is absolutely amazing. Obviously, I hope to God it gets a dub with the original voice actors, because I think then I would cry. because it's just like, oh, it's like it's the feels, man. But obviously, reading the subtitles, I was playing it out in my voice with the actors' voices in my head. So hopefully it does go well. But like I said, with the Digimon Tri thing, obviously it was supposed to be a 36-part series, but then they are doing it in 6 4-episode parts into one movie thing over the course of like next 2 years. But for the first 4 episodes, it was slow. There wasn't a lot of action, but this is more for sentimental value more than anything, especially if you're a fan of the original Digimon series, then you would fully appreciate what's going on in this series. And, you know, it would like, it wants you lingering for more, but at the same time, you're like, I have a little bit of hope in my heart now for this to be absolutely amazing. And I truly do think it will be amazing, because obviously they've just released the poster for the second part, and we see Gomamon and Powermon's and Mega Evolutions on it, which never happened in the first series, and has never actually happened in the series in total. It only happened actually in the video games. So this is going to be a very, very big thing happening in part 2. But, you know, the new theme tune, I knew the old theme tune, the old Butterfly theme tune before, but they've redone the theme tune and it's amazing. And especially that guitar solo at the end is just like, oh my god, this is like amazing. I was like, oh my god. It's just great, and you need to watch it. For if you love Digimon back in the day, you need to watch this. I swear to God you do. That was number 3. My number two is again something I've mentioned before, and that is Gate. And so the Japanese Defense Force fought back. That is generally the title of this thing. And like I've said before, there is this magical portal in Japan, in the Ganza district, which links our world to another. And in this world, there are things like dragons and elves and wizards and knights and stuff, and you know, they have somehow accidentally invaded our world without them knowing, and they're like, oh my god, it's a new world, let's like kill everyone. And like obviously Japan, modern time, obviously superior in like weaponry and stuff, is like, no, screw you. So they kill everyone. And then, so Japan's then thought, oh no, if they invade us, we ain't having that, we're going to invade them. So they go and invade them, and they're like, okay, we'll set up a diplomacy, we'll get rid of all these dictators, whatnot's here, you know, just like you know how any war today is like done. You know, you go to a country, invade it, you like get rid of dictatorship and all that shebang, and you're like, oh yeah, you're free, blah blah blah. And that's what the whole Japanese Defense Force is doing there, because obviously nothing is, you know, it's just this weird thing. All the people in this world are like, well, what is this? This witchcraft you have, blah 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 blah. What are these weapons? We have swords, swords, yeah. Bang 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 bang. My sword didn't work. And it's like, this is generally like amazing. This is like an amazing thing, because the concept of this is like, well, we're always getting like, you know, invading and stuff, and we're always like inferior to the weaponry and stuff. What happens if we was to invade somewhere and we are actually the superior force? And that was the way the concept came from. It's just like, and it works amazingly. And the second series of Gate actually starts next week, which I'm really, really looking forward to. I love the theme tune, and this is actually the first time I've actually liked an ending theme. The ending theme in this is like really, really cool, because I don't tend to like ending themes, because it's like, with an ending theme, it's usually like this sad, slow song to say, oh yeah, it's the end now, bye, see you next week. But this ending theme is like, oh, it's poppy, it's catchy, it's, yeah, I'm excited for the next thing now. That's why I like the ending theme. And I love how stupid Itami is. He's our main protagonist, and I love the supporting cast, especially Rory Mercury, whose statue I have pre-ordered, by the way. It's like this big, it's like 60 quid from Japan. I'm like, oh, I'll buy that. Why did I just do that? This is like, anime is literally taking over my life right now. So like, I've got wrestling and I've got like, anime now. It's like, and then I've got like Power Rangers, like, but the anime thing is like really taking over, because anime like collectibles like really expensive. So I've just bought like this Gate statue of Rory Mercury, which is unbelievable. So I really, really recommend you watch Gate, because Ollie's watching Gate, and he said he's loving it, and Mark says he's going to start watching it once he's finished watching Black Bullet. Black Bullet is his thing right now. So there you go, Mark. So it's just an amazing show, and I can't wait, like I said, for the second season to start in 2 weeks. So that's my number 2. My number 1, Mark knows what my number 1's going to be, because I introduced him to this a few weeks back, and that is Death Parade. Death Parade came out at the beginning of the year, and what was amazing about Death Parade is that it aired in Japan, an episode weekly, and then a dub came out along with it, like a 2-week delay. So this obviously someone saw something in Death Parade from the offset and said, look, we need to dub this. So, and it's like, it is an amazing show. With Death Parade, it's like, Death Parade is set in limbo, basically. When 2 people die simultaneously at the same time, they come to this bar. And at this bar, they're not told that they're dead, they have the memory loss. So they're at this bar, and they're not being told nothing, but they're being told they have to play a game. A competitive game against each other. And as the game progresses, memories start coming back on how they died and everything. And the person there, our main protagonist, Deckham, is there, and he's watching them. He's like seeing how they progress. And then when they finally realise that they're dead, that they realise that this is a game of life and death. Like, one will be reincarnated and one will like go to hell. Then Deckham sees how they are, how they react to this, and what they do within the game to certify their win. And you know, each episode had its own story with the 2 new people that died, but also there's a second protagonist a girl who doesn't have a name. We don't find her name up to the last episode, whose name escapes me actually, and she becomes Deckham's assistant. She becomes Deckham's assistant because when she dies and comes to the bar, she can remember everything, including that she's dead. And Deckham can't judge her, knowing that she knows that. So he had her memory wiped, and he made her his assistant in advising him on people that come into the bar. And when you get to the 12th episode, she finally gets judged on whether she should get reincarnated or not. And when you realise that at 12th episode, you realise that everything that's happened in the past 12 episodes, include, you know, advising Deckham, it's like everything's about judging her whether she should be reincarnated or not. And you don't realise that until right at the end, because it's just such amazing of a show. The emotion in this show is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Especially with Deckham. Deckham was made, he's an arbiter. Deckham's an arbiter. Arbiters are made. They're not human, they're made. And arbiters are made without human emotions, because they think human emotions will differ, will make them sway with their judgment. But Deckham was made with human emotions to see what would happen. But he doesn't realise this till, again, right at the end. Because obviously he's made a friendship with this female character, and he doesn't know what to do with her. And when he judges her at the end, the emotion that she goes through when she finally gets her memories back, and he just breaks down in the last episode. And it's just, in that last episode is absolutely magical, because he breaks down, she breaks down, they're both emotional, they're both crying, and because Deckham's age realised that he has emotions, like, throughout the whole thing, he's monologuing, he's like monotone, he's like, welcome to my bar, please play this game, please push this button, thank you for playing, no smile, blah 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 blah. And like, it's really, really magical at the end, because in the final episode, you know, she gets reincarnated, so she's back alive. And before she goes off in the elevator, she's like, Deckham, do me a favour, can you smile now and then? then he smiles, and then it's like, wow. And then that's it, and then the credits roll, and then there's this post-credit scene. 2 people come to the bar. He's smiling. Hi, welcome to the Quindecum. Please have a seat. And he's smiling, and there's this mannequin sitting down on the other side of the room, and it's in her clothing, and it's just wow. That was such an emotional roller coaster. It was unreal. That anime was absolutely phenomenal. Everybody has to watch Death Parade. The theme tune is amazing, and I understand why, because it just gets you pumping. It gets you, it makes you want to have a party. It's called Flying. I don't know who makes it, but just type in Death Parade opening theme on YouTube. It is an amazing theme tune. It's just like gets you excited to watch this episode, and the animation, like obviously it being Death Parade and everything, like the colours and everything's like all dark, pastel-y and all that, but it works really, really well. All the characters' individual stories, those who've died and are playing the games in the bar, their stories, because majority of the time the 2 people that come to the bar are connected in some way, or and then because like the memories coming back and they're like, oh my god, you're him and you're this and you're that, and it's like, wow. It's like the revelation in this anime is like out of this world. And as soon as I finished watching it, I was tweeting Funimation like, dudes, where's my Blu-ray release? And they're like, oh, we have no plans to release it on Blu-ray right now. I'm like, why not? Give me this on Blu-ray. And they're like, oh, if we do, we'll tell you straight away. I'm like, oh, thanks, it's really cool. And then obviously Mark came down, like, Mark, you have to watch an anime. And then I think me and Mark got to episode 6, and he's just like, dude, this is like the best thing in the world I've ever seen. I was like, I know, right? And then he went home and he watched the rest of it, and he's like, and then he told me like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is like, how we've never seen this before. And then I told him that they haven't released it on Blu-ray yet, and they're not going to release it on Blu-ray yet. They have no plans to. And he's like, why are they not releasing it on Blu-ray? This is fucking amazing. This came out like this is from like back in winter. The Japanese Blu-ray release is absolutely phenomenal. They have like this nice sleek box and nice sleek slipcase. You get like the soundtrack. You get like some poker chips and playing cards. You get like the Blu-ray and the DVD, and there's like the art book, and it's like, I want that so badly. Funimation, make me a Blu-ray of Death Parade. So, guys, please watch Death Parade. Anything I've mentioned to you, obviously honourable mentions being Sword Art Online Series 2 dub, Fairy Tail, just always Fairy Tail, always Fairy Tail. Do I have anything else on my sheet? No, that is genuinely it. Guys, please watch them. So you've got Is It Wrong Trying to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon, Gate, and Digimon Try, and Death Parade, and Asterisk War. Please watch them, guys. They're all on Crunchyroll except Digimon Try. Digimon Try is on Crunchyroll in the States, however, not in the UK. And Death Parade. Death Parade is not on Crunchyroll. Death Parade is on Flickstar? Viewstar. So I've already watched them online elsewhere. But guys, please watch them 5 animes. It's not long. Death Parade's 12 episodes. Gate is 12 episodes. Asterix Wars 12 episodes. Digimon Try is 4 episodes. And Dungeon is 13 episodes. They're not long. You can get through them in a day. Please watch them. It's amazing. So, like I said, Happy New Year, guys. Those are my top 5 animes of 2015. I've been your host, Rob Rowell. Keep rebelizing those pages. And later, guys.